Hello traders, welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 273. You know what we're going to be doing, so let's just jump straight into the market, see what kind of amazing week we had this week, and of course what we can expect for the upcoming one. Alright, as usual, before the technicals, let's review the economic calendar. So on Monday we don't have anything major, so just new home sales for the US dollar, so definitely could be tradable. Tuesday, consumer confidence, very nice news release. Okay, so Tuesday is also tradable together with quite a lot of USD news, which is great. And then here is pretty much the highlight of the week, which is Wednesday. So we're going to be having the Fed rate and also the press conference. So they're very likely going to keep the rate the same, although Trump right now is telling Powell to actually cut the rates. But I think they still want to keep inflation stable, so they're probably going to keep the rate the same. But it's really important what is going to happen during the press conference. So for me, Wednesday is not going to be tradable because I do not trade on the day on the Fed rate because before that it's going to consolidate, it's going to do some weird stuff, and then the news is going to come out and the market's going to make a whipsaw, and then usually I want to trade the day afterwards, which is Thursday, where we have euro interest rate, and they're going to keep lowering it. So that is very bearish for the euro, so probably some euro shorts should be on the radar right now. And also we have some USD news here as well, press conference for the ECB, and on Friday also the PCE price index, which is also super important. So to me, every single day looks tradable apart from Wednesday. On Wednesday, I'm also going to be traveling, so I'm not going to be trading at all. But apart from the other days, I'm definitely going to be looking to trade. So let's see how the market looks like. Before I get into the analysis, make sure to click the first link in the description. I am running the Trading Fanatics community. It's so much value inside. We have 6,000 members. It's all about value. And not to say that the course that I have included here is absolutely incredible. So make sure to join us there. As always, we're going to get started with our favorite DXY. Now, here is one key tip that I once again want to reaffirm to you. Now, I was kind of a little bit bullish on the dollar, but I was also bearish on the other pairs. But again, it was a little bit uncertain. And then I said, well, the only kind of region right now where we can potentially push higher from was kind of this weekly bullish imbalance together with this sell candle to the left that you can call like a weekly base, a weekly order block, whatever you like to call it. And we can see right now the weekly candle is perfectly pulling back into it. So right now from here, we could potentially start looking for support. Okay. However, once again, if the rates are kept the same, if depending on what Powell is going to say, depending on what Trump is also going to say, of course, right now the uncertainty is growing. However, the moves are getting bigger. So currently the most important skill that you can develop is just adaptation and flowing with the market. But this is how I trade. This is what I preach on this channel. It's not about telling you, ooh, it's gonna go there, it's gonna go here, it will go there, it will take this high. No, I always give you scenarios, I always give you my thoughts, but you're never gonna hear me, the market is gonna go here. It's always potentials, it's always scenarios, okay? So pretty much what we have right now is Monday was the key day. Monday was a bank holiday this week, and the DXY chart was actually not opened, but I was looking Euro USD popping higher. I was seeing all the currencies started to climb higher, and you can see on the DXY on Tuesday, when Tuesday opened, we had this massive gap down. And how I actually had kind of my outlook was like, okay, let me see if we're gonna start printing some bullish imbalances going higher to then potentially start targeting the high. But again, guys, when the market opened and we showed that massive bearish pressure, I was immediately bearish. Like, it didn't really matter what I said in the weekly outlook. After this happened, I was immediately targeting this weekly imbalance, which at the end of the day ended up being fulfilled. Okay, so currently we kind of don't have much to work with on the daily. We kind of, after this Monday flush, like Tuesday was a kind of an okay trading day. We took a lot of profit in my private community this week, although you can see it was overall choppy here on the daily time frame. And then pretty much Friday also, we took some amazing trades on Friday, tapping us into that weekly imbalance. Now, Friday's candle is a very nice expansion candle, and what I really want to see if Monday is going to create a new daily bearish imbalance here. So in order for that to happen, it should not cross this line. That is our invalidation line, okay? But if Monday actually opens quite bullish and starts kind of pressing above here and invalidating a new daily bearish imbalance, then I might be a little bit more bullish then, okay? But then transferring onto the 40 time frame, this is where, again, guys, it's it's usually one of those situations which I have to just say we got to give it time. So with the very last thing that we did is we reacted from this hourly bearish imbalance, and we actually already did its thing, right? So the market retested it, it already took the liquidity, and right now we're just resting at a very big lower low, which is situated on the macro side of things into a very big supportive level on the weekly. Okay, so right now the very big question is the market going to continue shorting, maybe form a daily imbalance, maybe come to retest this overall range here and then continue to give me bearish pressure so I can continue shorting it? Or is it going to start picking bullish steam, holding from that weekly imbalance, maybe even breaking above the structure, building that bullish order flow, and then potentially to start pointing higher? Okay, so those are kind of the two scenarios once again, and currently objectively I cannot say anything because I'm not really looking for longs because we don't have any longs, and I'm also not looking for shorts because we also don't have any shorting zones yet, and we're literally tapping into support to end the week with. Okay, so that is the DXY. I'm not bullish, I'm not bearish. I would say I would definitely love for this one to go higher, but of course in order for that to happen I will definitely need to see pretty much two bullish daily candles to print to form that forward order flow, and then I'm gonna be looking for longs. So Monday to me is definitely a skip. I want to see what Monday is going to do. Is it gonna form a daily bearish imbalance? Because if it does, it automatically is also gonna have these two buy candles as an order block, and here we're gonna have a lot of resistance to battle with, and then I'm gonna potentially start thinking about the shorts. So let me know what you think about the dollar coming into next week. Let's have a look at what the other pairs are looking like. Now for Euro USD, I have to start from the monthly time frame because what it seems like we're doing right now is we're traveling towards that monthly bearish imbalance. Why? Well, because if you drop to the weekly time frame, is there something to push the market lower on the weekly? Absolutely nothing, right? The only thing we had was this tiny little bearish imbalance. This is already tapped and already did its job. And right now, all the way towards that monthly, it is a what I call a no struggle area towards this monthly zone. So kind of starting to look a little bit more bullish, which also again guys means DXY could maybe shift bearish. I missed to do the monthly here? Yeah, well, the DXY also has a monthly, but right now it's gonna first battle with the weekly. So let's see how that weekly is gonna go. Now, of course, EU then dropping onto the weekly time frame, a very nice weekly bullish candle. Let's see also if we're gonna have a weekly bullish imbalance created after this week. Okay, so in order for that to happen, the market must not cross this line. Okay, if it's gonna form a weekly bullish imbalance. And then going on to the daily time frame now, I was really 50-50 on EU starting this week because we had this, if you remember from the previous weekly outlook, we had this daily bullish, but we also were reacting from that daily bearish. And you can see like the last 3 days of the week were kind of stuck. But just look at Monday, right? All you need to do sometimes is just wait a few hours or wait a day. The market absolutely massively destroyed everything, and then I literally had two simple levels. This high that is taken and this high that got taken on Friday pretty much. We took amazing longs into these highs. Wednesday was actually when we took a lot of profit. Thursday was kind of dead, and then Friday my community smashed a lot of longs, but I was already happy with my week, so I didn't trade. And right now you can start, of course, targeting levels like this. So there is the very latest swing point here, and then after this, I would say, is EU going to the monthly bearish imbalance? If the euro cuts the rate, that is bearish for the currency. So let's see, right? Let's just once again flow with the market. Now, here I'm gonna wait for something similar to the DXY. I really want to see if we're gonna have a daily bullish imbalance. Okay, so that is our daily invalidation line. If Monday makes a new daily bullish imbalance here, that is also gonna print that daily bullish order block. And then from here, it's gonna be a very nice longing area. I would definitely look to long from an area like this, targeting the liquidity. But again, guys, it really depends on how Monday is gonna close. And then if I transition to the hourly time frame, do we have something here? Well, yeah, apart from a lot of bullishness, we have two hourly imbalances here, but they're kind of turning into breakaway gaps because the market is running away, and currently we're closing at a higher high. So really objectively, kind of coming into Monday, we literally have nothing to do. Okay, can I go long? No, I don't have a zone. Can I go short? No, I'm bullish market and I don't also have a zone to short. Okay, so can I do something? No, which means next pair. All right, but of course, let's see. I'm starting to incline a little bit more bullish on the euro, but I would definitely want to see that bullishness being maintained, a new potential daily imbalance to form, and then potentially on Tuesday I can start looking for the longs. So let's see how this one plays out. Looking pretty bullish so far. Let's also real quick check out the monthly time frame on GU, because again here we also have that monthly bearish imbalance. Now is the market gonna pull back all the way up there? Well, it could, right? We can see that the market is currently sweeping this monthly low, right? You can see the monthly candle is looking like a very big wick, and it has 6 days to close like this. Now January is already over. So that kind of tells me, okay, could we then next month already start pulling back? It's definitely possible. Weekly time frame, we're kind of having a reversal formation. I was really bearish on the pound, by the way, but again, I'm bearish. Tomorrow I'm bullish. The market started showing us very nice bullish order flow, and right now it's going to encounter a lot of resistance within this overall region, right? This is a very big kind of block of orders here. We have this order block, then we have this base candle as well, and then after this we printed these two massive weekly bearish candles. So a lot of resistance it's going to be encountered here. But look at that expansion candle. This expansion candle is already flipping the weekly bearish imbalance, and it's already in a potential preparation for a new weekly bullish, depending on how the next weekly candle is going to close and if it doesn't come to invalidate the new weekly bullish imbalance. Dropping onto the daily time frame, now here's where, for example, we tapped the weekly, we kind of reacted a little bit from it, we consolidated, and then Friday is literally telling us, yo, I don't want to be holding from that weekly imbalance. I don't want to be holding from that daily imbalance. Everything is being destroyed. So to me right now, a very good setup, pretty much what the market is telling me right now. It's failing all the bearish zones. So it's probably going to be seeking the liquidity that could be resting above here. So this is kind of going to be my main target. Again, guys, based on what the market is telling me right now on this market closure, this is what I'm going to be targeting. Now, the next question is, how are we going to get there? Well, potentially, again, I would definitely love to wait for Monday to close for us to form a daily bullish imbalance, and then Tuesday, Wednesday pull back into it and then trade into this. That will be an absolutely great setup. But of course, for now, we don't have that, so we can drop to the hourly time frame, and you can really see the bullishness here. Now, I did take a long on GU. My long was from here, so I literally capitalized on a very nice move. Got it from here, exited here, and then the market ended up chopping. And yeah, then Trump's speech came in. We started printing some more bullishness here, some more bullishness here, and ended up the week with even more bullishness here. So you can see GU is actually very strong. So here I can already even speak about a setup. Like if we look to the left, do we have anything that the market hasn't yet tested? We have this hourly zone that the market hasn't tested. So if we potentially kind of open something like this to tap that one, to make us pull back into this hourly zone, and then maybe get some longs, that could be very nice, because I'm definitely looking for longs on this one. If this is not some sort of a nasty manipulation, right, in order for the market to dump crazily right now, it is looking very long right now, and I'm gonna follow this until I'm proven wrong. Hourly zone to potentially trade from, I would definitely prefer, however, for the daily zone to form, and then evaluate whether I can actually trade from a daily zone towards this daily target. Okay, so also bullishness on GU, weekly imbalance is failing, daily bearish imbalance here is failing, and right now we are very likely going to be targeting the liquidity. And then the question is, how are we going to get there? We have a hourly zone and a daily zone is about to form. Let's wait and see. Again, real quick on the monthly time frame on AU, like look at what kind of liquidity we took here. This is 2022 liquidity taken, and we're very nicely sweeping it right now. Now in 6 days, we're going to close potentially as a monthly bearish imbalance. That will then be a very nice area to go short, paired with this kind of buy to sell to the left. Okay, but currently what we're starting to see is a little bit of a shift of order flow, or is it a pullback right now on the macro scale of things? Definitely looks like a pullback in this very massive bearish leg pullback. Will it continue going lower? Well, this is what we're going to see already next month. Let's see what we can do this week. Okay, now currently we're closing above this weekly swing high, because that weekly swing high was created as a result from a retest of that weekly bearish imbalance that already did its job. And right now this pretty much tells me that the market is kind of reversing. But then we drop to the daily time frame, and what I really dislike AU is it's not kind of printing some good daily price action. We had this daily a very tiny little zone here that the market responded on Friday, and then just Monday rocketed, and then 3 days of a chop, and then Fridays too took the liquidity. But like, look at GU. GU is a lot cleaner, a lot stronger. EU is better. AU is not my pair of choice. Okay, so nothing on the daily much, and then we drop to the 40 time frame. This is where it kind of gets okay. My community smashed Aussie dollar this week because, again, you can see the 40 time frame was just absolutely clear. Like, look at all these 40 zones that got respected. 40 zone here. This one was a little bit choppy because we were waiting for Trump's speech. Trump's speech came in, swept the people, made a new one. And look at that beautiful long here, but I think it was during Asia or something. Yeah, it was during Asia. And currently we are once again, like, look at that beautiful 4-hourly bullish order flow, right? Just uptrend. But currently, again, we're sweeping that very major liquidity. So I would usually, in when we sweep kind of this such a weekly liquidity, I would like to see a daily pullback. But we're not going to have a daily imbalance here very likely because you can see we didn't print a very nice expansion candle here. So honestly, Aussie dollar is not my favorite setup, and I will definitely be looking to trade EU and GU more than, for example, Aussie dollar. This one already made some very good moves, but you can see it already had a foul imbalance and already reacted from it, and it's already kind of starting to show us that, hey, I don't really want to keep going higher. So this one can do many things, right? It can pull back, grab some liquidity below lows, and then maybe start bringing bullish order flow again. I don't know. But honestly, I'm not really getting a setup here. I don't like the positioning of this because it's already taking this liquidity. Meanwhile, on GU, we have the liquidity to target, and on EU, we also have liquidity to target in the form of that monthly imbalance. AU, not the best. Okay, so that is AU, kind of looking very bullish, but honestly, when you ask the question, okay, can I do something right now? Not really. I can't go short because I'm not short biased, and I can't go long because I don't get a setup right now. Maybe you're already on a setup on Friday, that's good, but I wouldn't really take that. So again, just gonna wait for some more development on this one. For now, skip. Now NZUSD is the same as Aussie dollar. It's closing above this weekly swing point. Now, of course, the next stop could potentially be all the way up into that weekly bearish imbalance, dropping onto the daily time frame. Here again, like, we had this daily bullish imbalance that kind of already, well, kind of did the magic. We had this consolidation, sweep the low, showing that. And this is why I don't trade structure anymore, because you get trapped in traps like this. Bearish push, pull back into 50%, let's go short, but you're not paying attention to who's in control right now. Just a little bit of a glimpse here of how I trade. We had this very nice bullish push here, 3 days of a consolidation, taking out the liquidity here on Friday. Do we have any daily zones to work with right now? Nope. Maybe one is going to get formed on Monday. Let's see. This is why, again, waiting for Monday to close is definitely always very good. This one very similar to Aussie dollar. Imbalances, 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 imbalances everywhere. So very nice longs. Overall, the very last zone we had was this, and the market already took the liquidity. So this one is extremely high. This one is extremely high, taking a weekly swing point, taking daily swing point, and also taking a 4-hourly liquidity. So this one is definitely in need of some sort of a reaccumulate, drop down a little bit to reaccumulate, and then to potentially go higher. Okay, because you can see when a lot of liquidity starts being taken, the market pulls back, and then it starts to accumulate, and then of course it starts to raise again. So again, Aussie dollar and NZD dollar, not my favorite setups. I'm also long bias on them, but it seems like they already did a lot of order flow. They already provided a lot of trades, and kind of I don't see where more can they pull back into. Now, of course, if this one opens up and prints a very nice bullish imbalance here, show me very strong momentum, I would absolutely love it. But until I see that, I am currently 50-50 on this. I'm gonna wait for something. I do suspect it can come back to take some liquidity potentially and then start going higher, but potentially I can update you on that going forward in the week if of course there are some good setups. Let's have a look at gold, but before we do that, let me just show you what is happening inside the Fanatic team. Like, we have all these pairs, all these tickers, but if I just click on gold, apart from these last trades, those are low probability. Keith destroyed the winning streak. Yassine ending up here with a break even. Yassine before that taking a very lovely take profit, and all of those are live executed trades with proof. There's the bias, absolutely beautiful long on gold as well. There is the proof as well. There is, this is Andrew that eventually he'd take profit. He probably has to update it. Here is Hamza, who took a beautiful gold trade, and this actually made him pass phase 1 of his challenge, which he actually shared with us right here. So gold trades, Mandeep, absolutely bombastic gold trade here. This one run for quite a while, but we're not greedy with our profits. We know when to take profits, so we end up stacking wins. There is Zumri, another beautiful long trade here. There is Vesco, another long trade here. There is let's see. Oh, that was a low probability stop loss, but you can see we're also sharing the stop loss. This is actually a wrong trade, and then we have the explanation of why it was wrong. There is Yassine with another one. There is yet another one on the 21st, on the 22nd. Like absolutely every single day, gold winners. Like just look at that, and they're all executed legitly. So back to the outlook. Let's break this down. We're traveling towards all-time highs right now, which is crazy, but since we accumulated down here, when gold starts moving after an accumulation, it goes very, very, very fast. And pretty much we had daily imbalances in play this week. We had this daily zone that beautifully got tagged on Monday, massive expansion Tuesday, very nice trade on Wednesday. Thursday was choppy, but Thursday actually pulled us back into the new daily bullish imbalance. Then from here, we once again rolled very nicely up on Friday. Now it was getting a little bit higher, and I had some members making mistakes here, but that is of course perfectly fine. Now I would say to me, all-time highs here are getting very close. They could get taken, but also guys, I have seen a lot of times the market not taking it. Now of course, for example, I do remember this time when the market is getting very close to it, but it formed perfectly equal highs, and then again it came very close. Yeah, here it actually took it, okay, and then it massively reversed. So don't get so married on, like, for example, it is gonna go to all-time highs. You just don't know, okay? Now, what I would also prefer for gold is for it to maybe form another daily bullish imbalance, something like this, to pull back into it and then trade higher. But do we have something on the quality time frame to already work with? Well, we kind of have this, but this quality zone is already taken and already did its job. So we already pulled back into it, and we already provided the setup and hit take profit. So this zone to me no longer exists. Okay, I have a very unique way of using imbalances. It's not like everybody on YouTube, right? Who are gonna, for example, draw this zone and use it for support and resistance for an eternity. No, right? These zones have a purpose, and they have a singular purpose, and when that is fulfilled, they no longer exist. So this kind of final price action tells me the market kind of distributed a little bit and is starting to pull back. But again, currently, do we have an immediate setup on gold? No, we don't. So what I'm going to be looking for is for some bullish signs, some bullish zones to potentially drive me towards that all-time highs. Now, that can be a sweep of this low as well. So one setup that I see is potentially we sweep this low, and then we pull back into this overall zone, because that right now turns into an order block, a base, whatever you like to call it, right? Pull back into this one, and then from there to potentially expand higher, because that is paired with taking liquidity, tapping into the block, and then potentially expanding higher. So this is just me thinking of potential long scenarios, right? That we can long gold. The best scenario will be, of course, to have a new daily bullish imbalance. So for that, the market should not cross this daily line. And if Monday doesn't cross this daily line, you're going to have a new daily bullish imbalance. And then from that, you can absolutely look for the longs and then targeting all-time highs. Okay, so this is kind of my setup on gold. I really don't want to be calling any shorts, but of course, guys, I've seen it many times, the market just stopping very briefly below or just very close to a low that you think it's gonna get taken, and then it doesn't take it. Okay, but I'm definitely potentially calling all-time highs. Let's see if we can actually get there with a very nice bullish zone. That is the setup that I'm going to be looking for. But once again, if a daily bullish imbalance forms, I will definitely prioritize this, and I will definitely try to long it. So bullish bias on gold. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about it. And let me know if you actually crushed gold this week, because it was very good. Let's have a look at the JPYs. So starting with USD JPY. Now again, this weekly zone here, I don't count it anymore because it's already taken 100 times. And it doesn't seem to react. The next kind of reaction area is going to be this order block. And of course, if this order block fails, then we can look for a deeper pullback into this weekly one. But again, you can see within the weekly candle, USD JPY was quite choppy. We also had a Bank of Japan doing again an intervention with their interest rates, but overall we didn't do much, which immediately makes pretty much I'm gonna say I'm not gonna be trading USD JPY right now. There are so many better looking pairs than it. Very big consolidation on the daily, nothing to really work with. No even liquidity was taken. And then if we drop to the 40 time frame, like if the daily is looking like this, then the 40 time frame is gonna be horrendous. You do not want to be stuck in a market like this. And even if I try to force it, I can't, because there is no structure, there are no imbalances. This is an absolutely textbook example of a consolidation. The market kind of tricks you into shorts and then it goes longs, and it tricks you into longs here, you think it's gonna go higher, and then it goes shorts, right? And then it tricks you into shorts thinking that liquidity is gonna go, and then it goes higher again. Failing imbalances like this and failing to create order flow is a sign of a consolidation, so I'm gonna keep this one short. I'm not gonna do anything on UJ, I'm simply waiting for some sort of a shakeout. I don't care where it is, I don't care how it is, I just want to see a shakeout. And then of course, when I start having a trading idea, this is only when I'm going to pay attention to it. So that's USD JPY, skip for now. So with USD JPY consolidating and the euro, for example, being strong, we can see euro JPY starting to guide us higher. Now, is it going to be tackling that massive weekly swing point? Well, let's check it out. Dropping onto the daily, do we have a daily zone? No. Like, I really dislike it when it doesn't have daily zones, because it signifies that there is not a lot of like the big guys are not into the market potentially, right? So nothing on the daily. We took the last thing we took is this. We already made the pullback, and then the next thing that we can take is this. That is pretty much very close to this major high. Now again, similar to the rest of the pairs, are we going to make a daily bullish imbalance after Monday closes? That is something that I'm going to pay attention to. Some very nice longs here, by the way. First, you had that bearish, reacted, failed, and this showed you the failure, but you shouldn't have been bearish because the bias was bullish. There is the first longing here, pulls back, then chops for an eternity. Yeah, only this long here. That happened during Asia. This is why you have to be trading these Asian currencies during Asia. And currently we're having that fall imbalance. This is kind of, if it was looking like a regular day, like let's say this was a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I would definitely be looking to long this into these liquidity targets. Just to quickly check to the left, do we have something? No. The very last kind of fractal thing we have was this, the swing high that is taken, and we're already wicked it. So let's see. I mean, something like maybe a deeper pullback could potentially be a play, or just for example to start popping from here. I am gonna say I am more long biased than short biased on Euro JPY, especially if EU continues with the bullishness and USD JPY continues with the chop. I think EJ and GJ could potentially get some very nice long bias, simply because of that correlation between the main pairs, those were the USDs, and also USD JPY. So long bias on EJ, this is the zone that I'm going to be looking for. If of course the daily time frame forms a new one, that is going to be great, but we also have some clear liquidity levels. Let's see if it's going to go long. Now, even though GJ has that weekly bearish imbalance that made it very bearish to me, it looks like it's also starting to flip it a little bit. Now, is it going to flip it fully? Now, that's a question we have to answer. Here, what you can see happening is, again, you just have to always watch who is in control right now, right? This is why I kind of really love the lower time frames as well, because a lot of times you see, ooh, weekly is bearish. Like, look at that massive bearish trend. I'm absolutely bearish on this market, but you really don't see what is happening from down there. The hourly shifting bullish, the hourly shifting bullish, the hourly shifting bullish, and then the daily shifting bullish with this daily bullish imbalance. And while you're trying to short from that weekly imbalance, look at the daily long. Absolutely textbook ping into it, and an absolute explosion here. Okay, so currently I'm definitely bullish, and I think on GJ, it is very likely we create a daily imbalance. Why do I say this? Is because in order for the market to invalidate a new daily imbalance, it will need to print a very massive bearish candle. And if it prints a very massive bearish candle like this, I would potentially be kind of starting to become a little bit more bearish, right? So let's see about that. If we form a daily bullish imbalance here on GJ, I would definitely be interested to long it into the incoming days. And right now, of course, on the forward time frame, you have a lot of zones also to work with, but I wouldn't really rush to long it on a Monday. Sometimes it works, but a lot of times it really doesn't. I would wait for it to potentially give me a better price, give me like a pullback, maybe form a daily imbalance, tap into it, and then from there, if I start getting the good setups, I will be looking for the longs. Now, something also that I spotted is that we're about to encounter some resistance. It's a daily resistance here, and then we have one on top. So also be aware of these. You can use these as targets. Okay, the market is getting pretty close to one of them. But for example, how I imagine the day to happen also is for Monday to open, to tap into that daily reaction area, to then that make Monday's candle a rejection candle, to make a daily bullish imbalance, and then potentially tap into it on Tuesday and Wednesday to explode. Okay, now I know this is a lot of scenarios, but this is how I'm already thinking ahead of things. But of course, I will only do whatever the market shows me. So GJ and EJ both look pretty bullish. I do see a lot more bullishness on GJ. So if you're to pick right now between EJ and GJ, I would choose GJ right now. All right, welcome to futures. Starting with ES, I took quite a couple of wins on ES this week. It has been amazing. We're having a very nice weekly bullish candle. Guess what? Getting close to all-time highs. Now, are we gonna ping all-time highs this week on the Fed rate? Definitely possible. So of course, let's see. Nothing too much take from the weekly apart from these two very nice bullish weekly candles. It seems like we're once again recovering. A lot of money is flowing into the US market. It has been a record inflow into US equities, which is very interesting. And a lot of them is also going into the Magnificent Seven stocks, right? But you can overall see it also on the daily time frame. We printed pretty much how many? 4 consecutive bullish days. So if you weren't long this week on ES and Nasdaq, you're doing something wrong, right? What I really like right now is that we have a lot of levels to work with, right? I really love it when the daily time frame is printing imbalances. Like, look at this, right? So 2 beautiful daily bullish imbalances here. If we do manage to pull back into some of them before the Fed rate, then I think potentially that is going to be very nice context for us to continue going higher and start hitting all-time highs. Okay, now I have seen it a lot of times that the market just stops before all-time highs and then just throws a very massive reversal, right? I don't know, like think about something like this, the market getting very close to it and you think, okay, it's going there, and then just whoop, all of a sudden you get a crash. Okay, so don't get too married to all-time highs. Let's just see if it's gonna guide us there, and then of course we're gonna long into it. But yes, pretty much those are the 2 zones that I'm gonna be looking for a potential retest this week. And actually Friday I hesitated on a short trade simply because I did pretty good on the longs, and I was like, man, why would I screw my week right now by taking a short? But it had a very nice sell-off here. And you can see we closed with a little bit of a bearish indication. Now, will this bearish indication potentially guide us into these daily imbalances and then from there start reversing higher? Definitely possible. Does that mean I'm gonna go short? Maybe, right? Maybe if we really open up very nicely on a Monday, show some bearish trends, some manipulation on the open, and then potentially to continue lower, I will definitely be looking to trade into these daily imbalances, but that is only if I get a very good setup. This setup here on Friday was good, was taken from somewhere here. Very nice sweep, previous daily high, Asian high being very top, potentially looking for a high of week, and then we have the entries right here, but personally I did not take them. So yes, that is ES. Could be looking for short-term bearishness, although once again right now the market is going to be tapping into this. So that is a very big supportive level. We also have, for example, this here. That is a forward bullish level as well. I mainly focus on what is happening right now, which is the bearishness, but I also have to acknowledge that there is also a lot of support coming to the left. So if I do get something like this with a very nice bearish order flow, let's say, to start the week with, then I could potentially be looking for a pullback into these daily imbalances. But if the market starts rocking already, then I immediately will be targeting all-time highs. But again, guys, we have Fed rate on Wednesday, press conference. Potentially Trump is gonna say something about it as well on Twitter. So let's stay patient. Let's of course flow with the markets, but overall bullish bias towards all-time highs. How are we gonna get there? That is the main thing to figure out. Nasdaq a little bit lagging behind. This one is further away from all-time highs. Does that mean it's not gonna reach it? Well, if ES goes, probably Nasdaq will also go. Now, what I'm just spotting on Nasdaq actually is that we had this beautiful daily bullish imbalance that we actually pulled back into on Friday. So this one is kind of already ready to potentially start looking for longs. It already has a beautiful first liquidity target, more like a micro liquidity target, more like a fractal, because yeah, this is all-time highs, but very likely I would like to take some profits here, okay? But overall, also super bullish market, has these same two zones. Now, again, on Friday, we did that same thing we did on the ES. In fact, I think Nvidia flushed a lot on Friday that caused NQ to also tumble. We're having that hourly bearish right now, and we're having this daily bullish. So a little bit of a supply and demand sandwich situation here. So kind of, are we going to fail that hourly time frame and build bullish order flow to go higher? Are we going to hold that hourly zone and maybe pull back a little bit lower and then from there start reversing? I don't know, right? And you also don't know. You have to acknowledge this, and we just have to wait to see what is going to happen. So this is Nasdaq. I'm pretty much on the indices. I'm forever long buys, okay? But again, the main thing is that I will definitely take some shorts here and there. But as I always keep telling my community when I'm making my daily analysis, it doesn't really matter what I say right now in the morning, because when New York Stock Exchange opens, when Asia and London has fully closed, you have a lot of new information, so you always have to take a fresh look at the indices exactly on the open and then see who is in control. Okay, so this is Nasdaq. I am definitely looking for longs together with ES, looking to see this target being taken first, and then is all-time highs gonna get taken this week during the Fed rate, or are we gonna have another dump? Let's see. But these are the zones that I'm gonna be working with. Let's see what happens. YM always moving different, but always giving us a clue about what is going on. We are pretty bullish right now on YM, and you can see we also printed a very tiny weekly bullish imbalance that once again suggests that buyers are currently in control. Dropping onto the daily time frame right now, we're tapping into that weekly odd reaction area, but again, similar to the rest, we're having all these daily zones that once again suggests currently buyers are in control, right? I'm even gonna take this one as a little bit of a bigger one. So yes, again, same things, guys. They're usually the same. Pull back into these zones and then potentially looking for longs. Again, all-time highs, definitely a very big call. I usually don't like calling levels, but of course, if the market goes bullish, all-time highs are potentially on the radar. Now, of course, hourly time frame here, you can see YM is the only index that did not make a hourly bearish imbalance, which means that the Dow Jones is actually stronger, right? It's actually stronger than the rest. So if you're actually looking to trade US30, you can definitely look to long US30 rather than ES and Nasdaq, because both of them have hourly bearish imbalances. This one does not. But what I find with YM is sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good, sometimes it's like the only pair that moves in the opposite direction, and then it makes the other two struggle. It is like a very big tug of war. But when all of them move in the same direction, that is when you get the big setups. Okay, so also again, bullish bias on YM, nothing much too complicated. We have these daily zones. I'm gonna be looking for a pullback and then potentially my signature long setups during the New York Stock Exchange Open. Damn, look at DAX, right? So this one, my overall process on DAX this week has been check it out in the morning, drop a daily new bullish imbalance that never gets pulled back into, and then just leave it. That's it. It's just rocketing like crazy, all right? And this doesn't work amazing with my strategy because I need pullbacks. I need pullbacks to zones, and if it doesn't give me pullbacks, I don't care, because then it's not my setup. Weekly massive breakaway gap just keeps running away. But definitely buyers are in control. And then of course I'm gonna go to the daily time frame, and every single day we have, well, not every single day, Tuesday didn't make one, but here daily, here we had daily that didn't get tapped, here daily, and also we also even ended up the week with a very small daily here. All right, so again, similar to the other indices, I am looking, no, it's not similar, because DAX is all-time highs right now. So what do I need is I need something like this. I need a pullback. I need 1 week of a pullback or something like this to give me a pullback in order to then have something to target. because the higher it goes, it's just no man's land and you don't know what to do. Okay, and even on the hourly time frame, it didn't give nice pullbacks. Like here, Monday was very choppy, and then it just rocketed, and then it opens, chops, and then it rockets again. Like, not nice, not nice. Now here again on the hourly time frame, we're finally getting some bearishness. I would definitely love to see a bigger pullback in on that one. Now, am I gonna be looking for the weekly? Probably not. I would definitely love to long it somewhere from these daily zones. Okay, so again, similar to the US indices, pull back into these zones, then potentially the fall and the 1 hourly time frame starting to align together, and then looking for the longs again. But being at all-time highs like this, I just don't like it. I prefer to just skip it, wait maybe for it to pull back, wait for it to settle at a higher low. Think about this, okay, and then have something to target clearly. That's the setup that I kind of would like to take on DAX. So currently being in such a push and trying to chase the market making new all-time highs is usually a risky move. All right, let's throw a little bit of a recap. Now, I want to wait for Monday to close to form daily imbalances, okay? That is on the DXY, because currently we don't have anything on the hourly. So I would like to wait for the daily candle to close to form a daily imbalance, and then I'm going to be looking to trade. Same with EU, daily bullish imbalance, pull back into it, and then potentially look to go higher. Same with GU as well. Although GU looks very strong and you can already start looking to trade it, but I would definitely appreciate first to get a higher low, right? And then look for a high probability long setup. Aussie dollar and NZD dollar are not on my list, so I will definitely prioritize EU and GU longs and also gold longs, okay? Gold, same thing. I would definitely love to see a daily bullish imbalance to get created. And then, of course, I also gave you this sort of setup that could potentially work out. So let's see about that. USD JPY, absolute skip. I'm looking for a shakeout here. While EJ and GJ are also very nice longs, but I would, again, prefer to trade EU and GU. Right? Because why would you long Euro JPY or GBP JPY when you can absolutely long GU and EU? Right? But that is, of course, for you to decide. Some of you want to trade Asia, so then, of course, maybe these two are going to be the better option. Indices, all of them are long bias, getting close to all-time highs. We're having a lot of daily bullish imbalances to work with on ES, NASDAQ, and YM. So I'm going to be looking for pullbacks into these zones and then potentially long setups. It's as simple as that. But again, keep in mind, we're getting the Fed rate this week. We're getting the press conference. Trump is going to also say something. So never be surprised. Always keep an open mind. Never say, ooh, it's going to go to all-time highs. You never know what it's going to do. So again, just flow with what the market is telling you, execute on your setups, and then just keep waiting for the next one. Okay, that's it from my side. Had a really good week. My community had a really good week. I hope you did have a good week as well. Let me know what are you going to be looking for next week. What are your favorite setups? And I'm going to catch up with you on the next video.